Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time, welcome, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome, welcome everybody. Again, it's dark. How's that? Is that a little better? Okay, a little bit better here. All right, so today, whenever you're watching this, I'm going to be doing another creepy story for you. All right, so this is called The Little Girl Who Lives in the Walls. When my wife and I bought our first house, an old Victorian style, built in the 50s, almost every night we heard what sounded like a kid's footsteps running down the hall, running upstairs, running pretty much everywhere, and all sorts of other random sounds. My wife mentioned it to the neighbors, and they said it was probably just peacocks on the roof. I don't really know where they live that they have peacocks on the roof, but I guess they thought it was peacocks on the roof. Anywho, the house backed up to a conversation area where wild peacocks lived. Oh, well, that explains it. Where wild peacocks lived, and they would occasionally get up on the rooftops. That answer made a lot of sense, so we basically got used to it, and eventually we ignored it. Less than a year later, our son was born, and when he was 1, he would balance all of his toys on top of the other toys and made them spin. Literally found the center of balance of various toys and would walk in a circle around the room, giving each a gentle touch to keep it rotating. It was the weirdest and coolest thing I had ever seen. That does seem pretty cool, especially for a 1-year-old. When he was 2 or 3, we would hear him talking in his room at night. And one night I asked who he was talking to. He said, Tracy. I asked, who is Tracy? And he says, the girl who lives in the wall. Wow. I don't know how I'd feel if my kid said that to me. Anyway. She's usually nice, but sometimes she scares me. He described a girl with brown hair in a yellow dress who would play with him sometimes and occasionally wake him up at night, but he didn't seem bothered by any of it, just startled sometimes. He would talk about her once in a while, but it wasn't a common occurrence. A couple years later, we had added on to the house and moved the master bedroom downstairs, switching the kids' rooms around. Our youngest son was now in his old room and about ready to transition from his crib to a toddler bed. She had always been a sound sleeper, but she cried almost every night in that room. Her first night in the toddler bed, we heard a loud thud followed by screaming and rushed into the room. Yeah, that would be horrifying. Thinking she had fallen out of the bed, she was on the other side of the room. We got her calmed down and back to bed, and it happened again the next night. So we ended up switching the kids' room back the way they were, and everything was fine. We looked up the history of the house, but didn't find anything about any missing little girls or boys or anyone with the name Tracy that had lived there. Eventually, our son had stopped talking to her, or stopped talking about her, rather, sorry. And a few years later, I ended up taking a job with another company, so we moved. The house was empty for a few months. After we moved, the neighbor across the street called my wife one day, said about a week after we left, she thought she saw our daughter looking out the window, so she waved to her. And then she remembered, we didn't live there anymore. That's a little creepy. I guess she was waving to Tracy. So, yeah, that was a little unnerving. But, yeah, I hope you guys liked it. It's just a little tiny story, just a little, I don't know, little something. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please do, so you can keep getting these videos if you're enjoying them, and make sure to hit that little bell icon so that you do get the notifications. I'm hearing a lot of issues with YouTube not notifying people if you don't hit that little bell, so please do that, and please write in the comments if you like the story, if you think Tracy's evil or good, or what you think. Let me know. Discuss amongst yourselves, and I will chime in. Hope you're having a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.